Imagine No Country for Old Men. Now imagine Heat.
She got a great ass!
Now imagine if those two films didn't just collide, but made love in the middle of a revolution. Welcome to One Battle After Another.
You know, I don't remember that part.
Paul Thomas Anderson's gloriously chaotic, morally charged, jaw-droppingly insane modern epic. And yes, this is the movie that turns busted cars into high-octane chases, makes revolutionary politics feel like a roller coaster, and somehow finds room for a tender father-daughter story in the middle of all that chaos.
Now, is that a he or a she or a they?
It's not that hard. They, them.
Buckle up, because this is not your typical action flick or your typical PTA movie either. Now first, a little context. Paul Thomas Anderson is back in the Thomas Pynchon territory, revisiting the counterculture chaos he explored in Inherent Vice, but now with even more fuel on the fire. The source material: Thomas Pynchon's 1990 novel, Vineland. If Inherent Vice was a psychedelic gumshoe romp, One Battle Another is a full-throttle comic book explosion of rebellion, love, betrayal, and dad jokes that make you question reality itself.
What has two thumbs and likes to bone your mom? This guy!
Now, Anderson doesn't just adapt Pynchon, he supercharges him. We're talking a frenetic fusion of political paranoia, screwball comedy, and action movie spectacle, scored by Jonny Greenwood in a way that makes your nerves vibrate like they've been wired directly into your brain. It's part Freudian family drama, part critique of state power, and part holy crap did that just happen cinema.
Just like Tom Cruise.
Leonardo DiCaprio plays Bob Ferguson, a revolutionary whose heyday has been reduced to panicked running through the streets in his pajamas,
Need a weapon, man. All you got is goddamn nunchucks.
whining about his dead phone battery. But don't be fooled. Bob is the part of the French 75, a radical cell attacking migrant detention centers along the border. His big job? Set off fireworks. Literally, fireworks. Now, Bob's the guy who makes noise while the other heroes, like the cerebral Howard and the badass Deandra, do the heavy lifting. Yet, even in chaos, Bob has a heart. His love for Perfidia, played by Teyana Taylor, is as messy and complicated as the world they inhabit. And Perfidia, she's not just a revolutionary. No, she's a tactical genius, a seductress of the absurd, and yes, in the 9th month of pregnancy. She can still fire an assault rifle with more precision than most of us can make a cup of coffee.
Bitch, I felt like Tony Montana.
Sean Penn's Colonel Steve Lockjaw is a caricature of reactionary authority. Now, equal parts menacing, lizard-like, and hilariously unhinged. His obsession with Perfidia drives several of the movie's most insane sequences. Perfidia toys with him, manipulates him, and in doing so, exposes the ridiculousness and toxicity of the power when paired with desire. Watching this unfold, you can't help but laugh, cringe, and gasp simultaneously. It's here that Anderson shows off his genius, blending slapstick absurdity with socio-political commentary. A woman's pregnancy and a man's lust becomes metaphors for dissent, control, and cycles of the American paranoia. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, it would really help me out a lot if you could push that subscribe button for me. It would honestly mean the world to me. Thanks a lot. And the visuals? Hypnotic. Perfidia firing that rifle while visibly pregnant is an image that sears itself into your memory. A statement about resilience, rebellion, and cinematic audacity. 16 years later, we meet Willa, played by Chase Infiniti, Bob and Perfidia's daughter. She's smart, fierce, and trained in martial arts by a Benicio Del Toro sensei, who might as well be channeling Harriet Tubman vibes. Now, Willa is a perfect blend of her parents' chaos and courage. Meanwhile, Bob has devolved into a grumpy, roach-infested, screen-obsessed dad, arguing about pronouns and yelling at his daughter's friends. It's absurd. It's heartwarming. It's Anderson at his most layered. And when the forces of darkness, Lockjaw and his secret white supremacist allies resurface, the stakes skyrocket. Suddenly, this is not just a father-daughter story. No, it's a high-stakes, sprawling, nearly 3-hour-long action epic where every personal failure intersects with a societal crisis. One battle after another isn't polite. No. It doesn't wait for you to catch your breath. The car chases 3 cars weaving through undulating hills, some of them broken even. Yet every frame feels deliberate. The action, raw, kinetic, and often darkly humorous. The score by Greenwood, it pushes your pulse higher than any roller coaster. And the tonal shifts from screwball absurdity to moral reflection keep you on the edge of your seat. Anderson's genius is in his audacity. He lets comedy, politics, family drama, and pure spectacle collide. And the result is an exhilarating mess that somehow makes perfect sense. Watching Teyana Taylor's Perfidia scorch across the screen is like watching a hurricane of charisma and tactical brilliance, utterly impossible to look away from. Regina Hall's Deandra adds wit and warmth to the ensemble. Wood Harris, Alana Haim, and others, they all contribute to a sprawling cast that balances gravitas with levity. But it's the interplay between DiCaprio and Benicio Del Toro that steals scenes. Chaos meets calm. Flailing meets precision. And the humor arises organically from that contrast. Even small amounts are amplified by Anderson's direction. The two shot of Leo fumbling on a payphone isn't just funny, it is even though. It's a meditation on failure, adulthood, and the absurdity of modern life under surveillance and constant political tension. Beneath the action and absurdity, Anderson is interrogating deeper themes. Paternal responsibility versus revolutionary duty. Authority versus dissent. America as a battlefield where cycles of oppression and resistance never end. They just mutate. The cultural clashes, the moral ambiguity, and the personal stakes all intertwine to create a film that's not only fun but profoundly reflective of our times. The title, One Battle After Another, is no accident either. It speaks to the relentless conflict, external and internal, a father navigating parenthood, a society grappling with systemic injustice, and the ongoing comedy tragedy of human desire, folly, and heroism. Anderson's film lands as one of his most audacious and accessible works till this date. It challenges expectations of scale, pacing, and genre. It's action-packed, witty, and morally engaging. It doesn't shy away from politics, family drama, or pure cinematic spectacle. Instead, it embraces all of them, often simultaneously. Audiences may leave with questions like, is Bob a hero or a failure? Does Perfidia push too far? Are the French 75 radicals or misunderstood visionaries? The brilliance is that Anderson doesn't give easy answers. He trusts the audience to sit in that chaos, find the humor, and discover meaning amid explosions and existential dread. By the time the credits roll, you're exhausted, exhilarated, and emotionally invested. The final shots, cars tumbling through hills, Willa stepping into her mother's legacy, Bob fumbling yet resilient, linger long after the screen goes dark. One Battle After Another is a movie that demands attention, laughter, reflection, and awe. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's brilliant, and it's impossible to look away from. So if you thought Paul Thomas Anderson could never make a full throttle action film, think again. If you thought politics, family drama, and absurd comedy couldn't coexist, think again. One Battle After Another isn't just a movie, it's a whirlwind, a statement, and a chaotic masterpiece that will leave your heart racing, your mind buzzing, and your jaw firmly on the floor. And trust me, you'll never look at fireworks the same way again. If you guys like the video, it would really help me out a lot if you guys could hit the subscribe button for me. Also, leave your comments down below on what you thought about the movie, or what's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I'd love to know. Please make sure to hit the like button as well, and I'll see you guys in the next one.